Morning people, so tonight on Question Time, this Tory right here, Lee Rowley, he was discussing Israel's bombing of Palestine, which has so far killed thousands of civilians. And he managed to display pretty much everything that's wrong with the Tory party in less than 35 seconds. Just roll the clip and then afterwards we'll go through all the ways that this man just tried to manipulate all of us.
The situation in the Middle East is extremely challenging, but it starts from a place on October the 7th where 1,400 people were brutally executed by a terrorist organisation. And we have to start there, and I'm afraid for me, we have to stop there. There's no nuance to that, there's no context, there's no explanation. There is the reality that 1,400 people are no longer with us in this world due to terrorism. And what we've all got to try and do is we've got to try and get through this very difficult period where Israel does absolutely have the right to defend itself.
Sorry, saying that the situation in the Middle East between Israel and Palestine started on the 7th of October this year is a level of dishonesty, a level of sheer fucking lying that if it wasn't about ethnic cleansing would be hilarious. Because like, you guys know that I have academic and professional qualifications when it comes to the EU and human rights, but the example that I used to give to say that, hey, I don't know everything was the Israel-Palestine situation. It's universally known that that's one of the most complicated issues in the world. Yet here's this guy with his whole chest saying,
there's no nuance to that, there's no context, there's no explanation.
Why? Because the Tories love to oversimplify complicated issues to manipulate their voters. Because come next election, they'll have their voters saying, what? You're saying I don't understand the 2,000-year history of Israel and Palestine? You calling me stupid?
There is the reality that 1,400 people are no longer with us in this world due to terrorism.
And that one isn't even a Tory thing because Tony Blair did it too. Just say the word terrorism in the hopes that your voters will then go, well, maybe we should bomb some people. And the next one, false patriotism that paints us as the victims, even though we're clearly not because the Palestinians are.
And what we've all got to try and do is we've got to try and get through this very difficult period where Israel does absolutely have the right to defend itself.
What he's saying there is, guys, you're going to have to just grit your teeth and really dig deep as we support the Israeli government while they ethnically cleanse millions of people in Palestine. Now here's the line that you've heard 1,000 times in the last 2 weeks.
Where Israel does absolutely have the right to defend itself.
Western leaders have been saying this to give a blanket justification to anything that Israel does in the name of attacking Hamas. But Hamas and the Palestinian people are not the same thing, and Israel is one of the most advanced militaries in the entire world. So why the hell are they telling civilians to flee to the south and then bombing their evacuation routes? Under international law, you're not allowed to tell millions of people to flee so that you can bomb their homes into the dust. Because that's called ethnic cleansing. The thing is, he knows that every major human rights organization in the world says the Israeli government has been violating the most basic human rights of the Palestinian people for decades. He knows that the vast majority of the country is well aware that the crisis in Israel and Palestine did not start this month. The Tories are just aiming their lies at a minority of the public because they're willing to be complicit in the murder of thousands of people in the hopes of polarizing voters to win the election. So again, I repeat, Tories are evil. I'm Themi, this has been F Politics, have a great week.